Oh, the horror. A huge whale was butchered right outside an office building in China for God knows what reason, and now the stomach-churning video is making rounds on Chinese social media. The giant animal was a gift to the company director and had to be hauled from the coast of Zhejiang to Jiangxi province for nearly $600. It was offloaded right beside the office canteen and prepped for slaughter by workers and what appears to be chefs. The foul stench attracted the attention of locals, who quickly began filming the 8-ton carcass being horrifically cut up. Authorities claim the meat was going to be used to feed dogs. But earlier reports and conversation in the video indicate that it was going to be given out to employees as a year-end bonus. Thanks, but no thanks. Apart from 2 particular species, it's technically not illegal to transport and use whales, which are second-class nationally protected animals in China. What's unclear, though, is whether the company had the required permits and licenses to do so. Still, just give out red envelopes and use kibble like a normal company, and leave the whales alone. Here's 4 more stories about whales.
Rotting blue whale about to explode raises fear in Canada town. A dead blue whale washed up more than a week ago on the western shores of Newfoundland, Canada. The dead cetacean has since doubled in size, and town residents fear it's going to burst. Whales can explode due to the buildup of methane, hydrogen sulfide, and other gases within the rotting carcass, especially if it's been sitting in the sun for several weeks. Measures aimed at preventing an explosion, such as making cuts in the animal to help gas escape, are common. But the task of disposing of a whale carcass can get a little dangerous at times. Oh, poor guy. The gas built up inside the whale's belly until it exploded like an overinflated balloon. Is it really going to explode? There she blows! Emily Butler, the town clerk in Trout River, Newfoundland, has sought help from the province's Environment and Government Services departments and the Federal Fisheries Department to remove the carcass. She said the town council considered having fishermen tow the whale carcass out to sea.
Want to see what happens when a whale is having a really crappy day? These pictures come to us from diver Kerry Wilk, who got caught up in the underwater shitstorm off the coast of the Dominican Republic. He and 3 other divers had planned an epic day of swimming with a pod of sperm whales in what he describes as, quote, the most crystal clear Caribbean blue water you can imagine. Unbeknownst to them, though, that water was about to get a lot murkier, thanks to Doo-Doo the whale here, whose stomach was on the fritz. The animal dropped what is probably the most massive deuce ever recorded on video, covering about 100 meters in all directions with its stank on you. Wilkes says it got in his eyes and mouth. It was everywhere. Once clear of the Punado, the clear ocean water washed it away. He still took an extra long shower though, just in case.
Paddleboarder's GoPro captures killer whale close encounter. After hearing about some orcas just down the beach, a man in New Zealand thought it would be a good idea to paddleboard 200 meters offshore towards the group of the giant black and white marine mammals that are known to feast on other mammals and whose nickname highlights their capacity to kill. There was a moment there where the whale, after briefly checking the man out, decided to go for a little sampler. Little damage was done though, fortunately. The encounter remained friendly, and it seems the orca was merely curious about the paddleboarder. After a few more seconds checking the paddleboarder out, the orca swam back and joined the other orcas, diving for stingrays. The paddleboarder held his cool throughout the encounter, later admitting he was just a tad nervous during his brush with one of the world's most skilled predators.
Killer whale who was once free beaches herself after performing. Morgan the orca whale has endured a rough few years after being rescued from the waters near the Netherlands back in 2010. Found emaciated and dying, a local theme park, Dolphinarium Harderwijk, was able to acquire a rescue, rehabilitate, and release permit from the Dutch government that would allow her to be taken in. Morgan was brought back to full health, but rather than send her back to the wild as promised, she was taught tricks and kept in small tanks over the course of 18 months. Eventually, she was sent over to another theme park in Spain called Loro Parque, which happens to be owned by SeaWorld. Activist organizations have reported that since she's been there, Morgan's been forced to perform for the public and is constantly subjected to sexual pressures by male orca whales, even though she's believed to be very young. This video, recorded on May 16th and released by Rickleberry's Dolphin Project, shows Morgan beaching herself on a concrete ledge after a performance in the Canary Islands. According to witnesses, she waited there for more than 10 minutes. While many are speculating the act was a suicide attempt, other experts are not so sure, saying she may have instead been trying to escape from the other orcas bullying her. This video, released earlier this year, shows Morgan banging her head against the gates of a medical pool she was in. Dolphin Project claims she was trying to escape the pool as she was being held in with another male. Morgan was the first orca brought into captivity in roughly 25 years, which would make her invaluable to captive breeding programs. In March, SeaWorld announced the end to captive breeding at their US parks, but the same agreement is not in place for its international parks. Fortunately, organizations like Rickleberry's Dolphin Project and the Free Morgan Foundation exist to combat Morgan's captors so that one day she may once again swim free.